Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Stephanie. This is the week 50, December the 11th through December 17th weekly wrap up. All right, you guys are getting ratchet Stephanie today. I threw on some clothes, threw the hair up. It is time to refresh the do. I have some new a new look coming. Super excited about that. But yeah. So, I can barely see. I'm just gonna let you know this now. So if you see me squinting or looking in, things like that, it's because all my stuff is here. And even with the good glasses, the new glasses, I still can't see. This week was interesting. Last week of school before the holiday break. So kiddo's on holiday break right now. He got back from West Virginia super late, but the evil mom that I am, I still made him go to school because he had missed a couple days and he needed to make sure he was on point and, with the schoolwork and things like that. Even and winter is upon us and it is rearing its head. It's like it's cold, but at the same time, I don't care because, partial electrical outage here at my money pit of a house one day, and then they got a day off of school because there was supposed to be sleeting rain and things like that. Yeah, so you get ratchet Stephanie today because the symptoms that I always have that I work through to do my life were rearing their heads today. It's so hard to tell a doctor, yeah, my left leg, it feels like it's on fire. It's burning. There's this burning feeling in my muscle, in my leg, in my thigh. But then they're like, that's just from you not working out. Oh, by the way, you could lose some pounds. Well, if I could get out of bed and had enough energy to exercise without being in complete and utter excruciating pain, then maybe I would lose some weight. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. So yeah, I am dealing with that because when it gets cold, it seems like it's worse. My eyes seem to be wanting to fail me these days. And it's just such a headache. And then it's the end of the year. So, everybody is trying to get a doctor's appointment. So that means there are very few. And I'm trying to get back to work. That is a journey as well. Whew. I did get a lot of things watched and read last week, but I also got this amazing box from the amazing Blue Sapphire. So let's open it up and find out what it is. So I love when authors reach out to me and are like, hey, do you mind giving me your address or give me your P.O. box because I want to send you something. And then I'm like, okay, I give them the information they're looking for. And then I end up getting things like this, like big boxes. I'm not expecting anything large, thank you notes or, a book here or there type thing. And I am super, super appreciative. When I got the notification that I was getting a box, I was like, what did Blue Sapphire send me? She was so delightful in my Let Me Introduce You series interview. And when she was like, here you go, I am just stunned. I'm stunned. I'm speechless. I'm super excited to find out what she sent me. So let's jump into it. Her signature blue paper. Love it. Love it. And she sent me this amazing bag. Oh my God. This bag of goodies. I'm so excited. Let's see what she sent me. Okay, so there's 4 books in here. I am super excited for that. She sent me bookmarks. Oh my goodness. Bookmarks. Love it. Love it. I don't actually read my books, but I am here for these. Yes. Oh my God. My favorite series right now. The Work Husband series. If you have not read it, you guys need to get on it because it is amazing. All 4 books are available in KU, and they are so worth the read. Love it, love it. I'm still currently making my way through her Asshole series, where she writes with a couple of other authors in this world, and Pitt was absolutely amazing. I loved freaking Pitt, and she has some more books coming out in this series as well, so I'm excited for that. So thank you for the bookmark. Did she? Okay. Guys, she sent me the Work Husband series. Thank you, Blue. Oh my God. I am so excited right now. So if you don't know the series, it is Unexpected Lovers, which is a office romance with a whole bunch of twists, and it's connected. It introduces you to this world of brothers. There's twins, and then there's an older brother. This is one of the twins' story. Work romance, horrible wife. Yeah, adorable girl, little girl. Just the sweetest little thing. Oh my God. Then we have My Best Friend's Wish, which is the second twin of the story, of the series and of the family. He is a chef, and his best friend like got out of medicine to be a chef along with him. They work in the same restaurant, so it's almost like a work environment as well. But then of course there's more twists and turns and things like that. Loved it. Little secret crushing on both ends, and I was here for it. Then we have The Ones Left Behind and The Ones Left, or yeah, The Last One Standing. These two is a duet. It's about this throuple right here, and it was absolutely amazing. Our older brother, you get his story and all of the things that you kind of had like plot holes for within these 2 books, because you're like, something's going on. You feel like there's a mention of things going on in the background. You get all of the information in these 2 books, and loved it so much. So much. Thank you so much, Blue, for sending me this package. I greatly appreciate it. I cannot wait to show off these books. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Alrighty, so let's jump into the books that I did read last week. There are a lot. I have some things, some feelings, and things like that. I started off the week by finishing The School for Good and Evil by Soman Chainani, and I am placing this in YA fantasy, I guess you could put it. There was some content in there that was a little, oh, I'm sorry, not YA, mid-grade. There was some content in there that was bordering on YA, but at the same time, it definitely was a middle grade story. Our characters are like 12 years old. Okay, so I'm giving it 4 stars, giving it 1 Steam fan. Like I said, there's no spice in this whatsoever, and there should not be any spice in this whatsoever. It's a freaking middle grade YA story. So I listened to it as an audiobook. This is a BIPOC author, which is amazing. So we have Sophie, we have Agatha. They live in this town where children get abducted every year around the same time, and it is the whispers and rumors of the town that the kids that are taken to the school for good and evil. One is taken for the school of good, one is taken for the school of evil, and when Sophie and Agatha are taken, they feel when they arrive that they are plopped into the wrong schools. And as you go along through the story, you find out that they are technically in the right schools because of their inner nature and things like that. This does end on a cliffhanger. However, I do believe that this book should be a standalone, and I'll explain more about that in a little bit. The next book that I finished was Kisses Over Eggnog, which is cocktails and Christmas #1, or I think they may have changed it to Cocktails and Holidays, by M.L. Preston and Sade Rena. This is an interracial rom-com, and I'm giving it 4.25 stars, giving it 3 Steam fans. Had this as an ebook. These are Black authors, and I really enjoyed it. It's a love at first sight. I had to grab my own little tea and eggnog because that's how I do my lattes. When I do a tea latte, I add the cream to the tea, but this is a tea and eggnog latte going on here. So I had to bring it in for this book because it was so much fun. So we have Shawnee, who is new to the area, and she moves next door to this lovely, lovely couple. And when they have a holiday party, she is kind of tasked, or she volunteers to bring her famous eggnog drink when she goes to the liquor store to get the specialized once a year holiday liquor that she needs for her spiked eggnog. Lo and behold, this guy comes and snatches it up, the last bottle in the store, and won't give it to her. Well, come to find out, that guy is Caleb, who also happens to be those neighbors' brother and brother-in-law. So they are kind of put into this situation, and they have this sort of you took my liquor and wouldn't give it to me types, banter back and forth. It is somewhat of a love at first sight story. They do have some past, like, communication issues that both of them need to kind of get over to find the love that they have for each other. But I really enjoyed this story. I really did enjoy the story. The next book that I finished was A World Without Princes, which is a School for Good and Evil book #2 by Soman Chainani, and I DNF this at 30%. I'm giving it 1 star. Still no fans. Listen to it as an audiobook. This is a BIPOC author, and this is a continuation for Sophie and Aggie's story, or Agatha's story. They are pulled back to the School for Good and Evil. However, the schools have now been changed. This book grinded my nerves for that 30% that I actually did read. So once they are pulled back into the magical world of good and evil, it's now boys versus girl. And to have a male BIPOC author writing about very feminist roles and gender specific type roles, I was not comfortable with it. Was not comfortable with it at all. And our prince that was left from book #1, he's bitter. He's bitter. He is just straight bitter and is wreaking havoc and wants to kill the person that he feels took his one true love. And I'm just like, what? Why? And not to mention, this is still a middle grade book, and it's very much talking about gender norms or gender roles, femininity, and feminist type language, sexuality. Middle grade, guys, middle grade. And I am not one that's like, oh, we don't need to have those type of themes and we need to not let our kids read those type of books. No, that is not what I am saying here. I am just saying that this story would have been so much better had those themes and just the discussion, the overabundance of the wording, and just, no. So I will not be finishing this series. I am happy with book #1, in which I read and enjoyed, with the issues that I did have with that, being that it was middle grade and was talking about sexuality. But no, I will not be continuing on with this book series. However, if they make a second book, second movie, I may watch the movie. If you want to know more about that comparison, because I did do a comparison between the book and the movie that is out on Netflix, that vlog will be coming in probably 2023. I'm still editing and things like that. The next book that I finished was Original Sin, which is part of the Blurred Lines series of standalone books by different authors. This one is written by Mila Crawford. I knew going into this that this was going to be a dark taboo romance. However, I DNF'd it at 26%. It's supposed to be a reimagining or retelling of Wuthering Heights. I have never read Wuthering Heights, so I don't know. I couldn't do that comparison. But we have Caitlin, who is with Heath, and who is the other person? Who cares? Anyways, take heed to the author's trigger warning and content page, because when she says that those things are in there, she means from page 1, from sentence 1, you open up to a rape scene. Like, really? No, no lube whatsoever. Just flat out, here's a rape scene, and it just goes from there. Then we're flashback to when they were kids and how they all knew each other, and how there was bullying that was happening, how there was child abuse that was happening within the home, and then a parent ends up dying, and then the bullying older brother ends up taking over the guardianship of the female character. And when he tells her after that point, because he is willed guardianship of her, of our female character, because she's only 17, when he tells her, yeah, now that I'm your guardian, you're gonna have to watch what you eat and have to do this and have to do that, I was like, nope, I'm done. I am done. This is not a book for me. The next book that I finished was Blue Waters, which is Tainted Waters #1 by India R. Adams. This is a YA dark romance, which kind of annoys me. I went into this because I loved this cover. Giving it 3.5 stars, giving it 2 Steam fans. Had this as an ebook through KU. I wanted to give it a chance. I did. And I did give it a chance. I read this book all the way through. Although our characters, Whitney, Link, and Crash, irked my nerves to no end. To no end. So we have Whitney, who is best friends with Link, and they live across the street, like across this river from each other, or maybe it's a creek, or it's some kind of water that passes between them, and they swim in it. She is a dancer that has a family that isn't there. She lives in this big expensive house that's behind a gate in this rich neighborhood. She has a maid that has a very racist line that goes along with it. And I was like, when I read the line, I was like, I don't, that's weird. Why would you write that line? Okay, let me highlight that and just make note and keep my little ears and eyes open for any other racist type comments or commentary within the story. So I continue on and I finish. Whitney ends up meeting Crash because Link is in a relationship with this girl named Connie. Both of them are like, oh, we're just friends. But the friend group that they have around them are like, why y'all fighting it? Why you fighting it? Why don't you just be together? What? Well, come to find out, Crash is the guy that is the son of the big drug guy in the town that her brother ended up dying by drugs and things like that. So there's content warning for that. Then there's a whole bunch of twists and turns that come along. So there is content warnings for grief, for the drug addiction, for corruption, for secrets that, no one is saying anything about. Mental abuse, just all kinds of just like, why? So then I needed something happy, right? I needed something that's going to make me feel good. So I pulled out the Holiday Brothers series by Willa Nash, and I read The Naughty, the Nice, and the Nanny by Willa Nash. This is a contemporary novella, holiday romance, giving it 4.25 stars, giving it 3 Steam fans had this as an audiobook. This is a nanny and father, single, well, not really single, just I mean single parenting sort of, because the ex-wife and mother is just kind of like, she's there, but she's not there. So we have Natalie, who is a nanny by trade, and she lives in this small town, and she gets hired to temporarily nanny for a guy that she knew in high school, Maddox. She went to high school with his younger brothers, and when Maddox moves back to town after making it big in LA, he brings his daughter and needs someone to take care of her. There is some issues with the kiddo, because the kiddo is like, you all, the nannies, she runs nannies away. She's a terror, but Natalie ends up not really taming her, but seeing things from her perspective and being able to, I guess, communicate with her. And it was such a fun little story. There were funny moments, there were heartfelt moments, and I just really enjoyed it. And it started taking me into this world of the holidays. So I read 3 Bells, 2 Bows, and One Brother's Best Friend, Holiday Brothers #2 by Willa Nash, contemporary short novella, giving this one 4.25 stars, giving it 3 Steam fans had it as an audiobook. And this one is kind of set in the same time frame. So all 3 of the books happen within the 1 to 2 weeks before and after Christmas. So that's it's a really quick time frame. So we have Stella and we have Heath. They were, let me make sure. So Heath is Stella's brother's best friend, and Heath is the project manager for Holiday Homes, which is the home building company that his family owns and operates and things like that in their small town. Stella is a project manager who was brought on to handle some of the rough stuff. That's what she's known for. She has a really good eye at, no, she is not known for that. She is she's known for doing good work and beautiful work, and is a badass project manager. So she gets hired. That's what it is. And now her secret crush on her brother's best friend is kind of revealed, that Heath, the brother's best friend, has had a secret crush on Stella as well. And we have a one night. You were mentioned to this, or you were sort of told this in book #1, in The Naughty and the Nice. So it was fun to see kind of where their heads were, because there is mention of Heath and Tobias, who's coming up next, in the first book, and to see kind of why they were the way they were. Like I said, it all happens, all 3 books happen within the same 2 weeks. So then that brings me to A Partridge and a Pregnancy, which is Holiday Bros #3. Let me see if I can get that right. #3. And this is by Willa Nash, contemporary novella, giving this one 4 stars. Okay. Still 3 Steam fans had it as an audiobook, and this is a accidental pregnancy. So Ava and Tobias were college sweethearts, and then Tobias he proposed, and Ava said no, because she didn't want to live in the small town. She wanted to go off to the big city and, venture out and do things. And she has a bit of a history with running, and she kind of irritated me. I absolutely love Tobias, but yeah, he just, you could tell he didn't want to get kicked in the face again. And Ava just was not getting that, because she is slotted when she finds out that she is pregnant, to go to London for a new project. And she just was not getting that. Tobias was like, we need to talk about it. We need to figure out how we're going to work. I want to stay here. I'm in the company, you know, doing the thing. We do similar jobs. You could come work here. But Ava just continually shut him down, and not giving any kind of compromise or solutions to why she wanted to make sure she went to London type thing. So there is that. Then I finished the week out by reading Black Waters, which is Tainted Water #2 by India R. Adams. This is still YA. Dark romance. It's a novella. Giving this one 2.5 stars. You're lucky that I'm giving it 2.5 stars. Giving this one 0 fans, because you know what? This is the same exact story, except for it is from Link's perspective. And there was another racist line in it. Yeah. And then there were so many twists, turns, corruption, like things going on. I was like, no. I will not be continuing on in this series because there are like 2 or 3 more books. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. Not doing that. There are content warnings for human trafficking, for sex slave trade. There is a kidnapping. There's a murder. There's conspiracy. There's drug drug addiction and drug trafficking, and just so much adoption issues, child abuse. Kind of ended my week in a bad way, except for the fact that these are the books that I am currently reading, and I started a couple of them before the end of the week, but I didn't get to finish them, so they didn't get to go into the finish read. They're my currently read. So what am I currently reading? I am currently reading Open Play, which is Passion Players #1 by J.N. Walsh. I also will be starting From Scratch by Tembi Locke, so that I can do another watch and read comparison. I am thinking about binging The Edens from Devney Perry, or I might do her other series under Willa Nash. I'm not exactly sure which ones I actually have in audiobook, but I'm thinking about doing a binge for Devney. Then I am thinking I'm going to start my Kindle Clearout. And here are all 20 of the books that I have over on my Kindle currently, and I need to clear them off before the end of the year. So I'm going to be binging. The holiday season has started, and that means I don't have to like go for school runs or anything like that. However, swim is super early in the morning. So there is that. But those are the books that I'm going to be reading for the next 2 weeks. And then like next week, you'll see which ones I actually did and which ones I didn't. Yeah, there's that. Alrighty, so I don't think I have very many reminders for you guys. I do. I have reached out to a couple of authors. However, I haven't heard very much back. I would love to get an hour or two with, 30 minutes to an hour with a couple of authors that I have already read for the January and February Let Me Introduce You series, so that I can get those done and out to you guys, because I would really hate to take another break in the series. I want to keep the momentum going. You guys are seeming to enjoy the authors that I have. If you have not looked at the entire list, always check the description box, because the playlist will be down there for you to watch, as well as the author suggestion form and the author interest form for authors that I have read, or if I haven't read you, still fill out the form, because I could very well pick your pick some of your books up and then reach out to you. That is something that I like to do, is reach out to an author after I have started reading their work, so that I can be familiar with it when we do set up an interview. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to put out an entire video about that process for the Let Me Introduce You series. But until then, you do have the playlist, and you had Natasha Matson that was in the videos, or interviewed last Thursday, and then you have this interview that is coming up next Thursday as well. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in another video. Make sure you thumbs up, yep, if you liked it.